Alright, today we're picking up on Mufford 4. This is one of my main distribution areas, and what I mean by that is you can see we have some cargo links that are linked out to other outposts in our system, but we also have an intersystem cargo link that connects us back to Kurtz. Let's start off by checking how our helium is flowing throughout our outpost. If you remember in the last episode, we are having some issues with the helium not flowing to our outpost to power the generator, so let's make sure we have helium connected to all the cargo links. And there we go, we established two connections, one to the far right cargo and one to our intersystem cargo link. So now we have helium flowing throughout our different outposts. Next, we can go ahead and check our storage in the warehouses. This is where we're manufacturing some of our resources. One thing I still want to check here is I know we're having issues with this one not getting nickel. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these simple fabricators. We can see we're missing mag pressure in the middle one, and our fabricator trying to produce those needs nickel, but we're not getting nickel from any of the outposts, and this could be due to many things. One of them could be there's only a 300 weight cap per cargo link, so if you don't have anywhere for those resources to flow to, then you're not going to be getting all the resources you potentially could, such as nickel. So we have a few options here. One, we could either expand our storage area, or we could go to areas where we know nickel's flowing, like here in our inner system cargo link, and connect that up directly to the fabricator. We can see we have a lot of stockpile of resources here. So again, one of the best options is to add storage to allow that resource to overflow somewhere. To make this storage though, we're going to need adaptive frames, which is iron and aluminum. And you can see here we have a ton of aluminum. 400 in the cargo link, and then over 100 here in the storage container. What I'm going to do over here is try to set up a little storage area that is native to this outpost. So what that means is pretty much any resource that we have that spills over will just kind of get left here, so that we can pull from it when we're crafting different manufactured goods. So let's go ahead and drop off the aluminum that we took. So now by having this cargo area and having it not connected to any of our outposts, that resource will stay here and we'll be able to have aluminum anytime we need it for crafting. Typically a good option is to expand your storage when you're starting to have caps on the amount of resources flowing in. Right now I'm just placing down a few different storage units. We'll go back into our scanner mode to our outpost area, and then what we can do is connect all of these by toggling over. And by connecting the storage units all together, what that does is makes a bulk storage unit. This basically means all the resources will be distributed through this. And I think one of the main reasons we're having so much issues with kind of storage is because we have the two cargo links and the intersystem cargo link all flowing to this one area. Right now I'm just expanding the storage capacity overall, so we need a little bit more liquid storage as well. Heading over to the intersystem cargo link, we can see that one of the resources that should be flowing here is nickel. So before doing anything, I want to check where this flows, and you can see we do have some nickel over here in the storage unit. One option we could do here is either expand the existing storage to allow more resources to flow here, because you can see it's at 100% capacity, or connect it up to the simple fabricator that needed nickel. We have a lot of extra resources available in this outpost, and not many of my other outposts actually generate helium. So let's go ahead and drop a few more helium extractors down and make sure they're linked up to the different cargo stations, starting with the intersystem cargo link. One of the things we'll want to do here is, if we want a constant supply of resources flowing in, we'll need storage, but also helium to power the intersystem cargo link. We also need some power. So let's go ahead and put down some wind turbines. No matter where you place the wind turbines, they'll always generate the same amount of power on that specific planet. Some planets have different amounts of power generated from wind turbines, and different amounts of power generated from solar. Now, heading back over to our intersystem cargo link, let's see how the resources are flowing here. Overall, when setting up your outpost, I would highly recommend having your cargo links easily accessible and close to one another. You can see here I'm hopping from incoming to outgoing storage units on all of my cargo links. You could also press the F button to enter scanner mode, R to go into outpost design, and then look at the different cargo links to see what resources are flowing in and out of them. Heading over to the main computer on our intersystem cargo link, we're able to see the outgoing resources: aluminum, helium, iron, sealant, chlorine, copper, and toxins. We have 500 cargo ship supply, and we can see the resources that we're getting from Kurtz: iron, helium, copper, lead, nickel, cobalt, and aluminum. In the top left of our screen, we can see the build resources needed in this outpost. Recall, nickel was one of the main ones that we needed for the simple fabricator to make mag pressure tanks. So, let's head to our storage unit over here and then connect that to our simple fabricator that was lacking nickel. Now we can see we have 11 nickel flowing in, and we can start producing these mag pressure plates. Now that the resources are flowing how they should be in our outpost, and we're able to make some manufactured goods, the next step that we should do is probably add some additional storage to our intersystem cargo link storage area. If you recall, that was in the back of our outpost, near the intersystem cargo link. Majority of the storage here for our regular cargo links are already full. Let's now go ahead and start expanding out some of our storage near the intersystem cargo link. I was having these issues in my outpost where it just had a continuous loading bar, so I had to do a lot of these improvements first person. But I think it's just because the intersystem cargo link area was getting so large that maybe the game was having trouble loading properly. And then what we can do is go through the process of connecting all of these storage units together. And this is a really good tip, guys, because what you can do is, if you're having issues with how your resources are flowing, usually a good rule of thumb is to throw down a few extra storage units and then just give your cargo links a little bit extra time, because what happens most of the time is you don't even notice that you're at max capacity in your cargo links And then when you set up this additional storage, it just allows all those resources to start flowing over there, and it really clears out a lot of the inventory. So now let's head to the Alpha Centauri system, where we have our other distribution center there at Kurtz. Let's go ahead and land here and see what improvements we can make to this outpost. Again, some of the key things that I'm going to be looking for is 1, that resources are flowing properly, 2, that we have enough storage so that the resources can flow, and 3, if there's an easy way to get resources up to our ships. You can see I already have a transport container here. This should allow us to have, while in orbit around the planet, a connection in our starship to this outpost, if it has resources in it. So with all that in mind, let's start making some improvements to our Kurtz outpost. The storage area is not the best here. It's already 100% full, and there's only 1 storage for passing resources back and forth, and then 1 storage area for all of the incoming resources. So here I'm just hopping around and going through the different resources available in this outpost. How I have this set up is I have 2 areas of main storage. The one that I'm hovering over now is what's passed back and forth between the cargo links. You can see it has a connection between the incoming and outgoing resources on the left hand side cargo link, and then it populates the middle cargo link, and then that flows to the intersystem cargo link. So this area is probably where we need the most storage at, because so many of the cargo links pass through this area. Let's go ahead and link this all together so that we now have some bulk storage. And you can see almost immediately everything is 100% full already. To build more storage, I do need some more adaptive frames, so let's head over to the industrial workbench now and craft some more adaptive frames. With the adaptive frames crafted, we can go ahead and start adding some more storage. And one thing I wanted to mention here, guys, is it's absolutely crazy how quick these containers fill up. You can see I just connected it and it's already full. What this makes me think is that we need some more of this storage area so that these resources can be flowing from one outpost to the other smoothly. Now this storage area that I'm at is what flows out of the intersystem cargo link. So this is going to be resources that were in our muffred system, and they're flowing to these 2 storage containers, and that's all that's connected to it. So right now what would happen is all this resources would stop here, but I do want this to flow to our other outpost locations in the Alpha Centauri system. So let's go ahead and connect those to the regular cargo links. Let's go ahead and start expanding some of this area so that we're able to house more resources, then go through and connect them to create a bulk storage area. And so that's the main idea right there, guys, is basically what you want to do is go through your different outposts, see what resources are flowing in and out of it, and then also try to pay close attention to the cargo capacity of your ships.